Hello and welcome everyone to another little Northgard video. Today with a little special video, that's why it's actually a little bit late because I'm just recording this, but I wanted to show it to you because I had the question like a few days before that if there is a pop limit in here, like a maximum pop or something that the developers put into the game that gives you like a max pop. And I just played around with it a little bit, and I think I'm just gonna show you right now where I got. Yeah. So, I got to 265 pop. It's going up. It's still going up. There's not looking like there would be any limit at all. Yeah, but I'm getting to some problems, but I'm gonna get to that later. So, I'm just gonna explain how I got here. Yeah, it's a single player game, so there weren't any bots on the map. I guess that were a mistake, but I'm gonna come later to that. Yeah, so I could just get the whole map. I made a large map, of course, to get the most space I could possibly get. I put a hole of skulls everywhere where I could. And not from start on, I made a pretty basic start because you need your economy running. And that will need you to make a pretty basic start, because I actually played on hard mode. I don't even know why, but I want to have it more realistic. Yeah, that makes the enemies attack in the first minutes of the game quite often. But if you got cleared out of the map, so the whole map is cleared, you will just face some Dragoor once in a while. They are coming. But yeah, so not even that hard. So also the always keep in mind that you need to will your wills alive, and they're getting really a lot of wills, and this gets harder and harder more of the time. Like you see, I have 173 villagers gathering food, and I don't actually have that big of a food production right now. Yeah, I played for this game around 6 hours, and yeah, I think around 30 minutes right now. Oh no, I actually almost hit the 7 hours, so yeah. So I needed a lot of time for this. The happiness is not rising that much in the end. Yeah, it is rising that much in the end. I need to explain it otherwise. But your high happiness won't help you that much anymore. So it just will sink lower and lower and lower. In the first space I thought, wow, that's kinda easy, because with a high happiness that you can upkeep pretty easy in this game, because you can just buy stone at the market. Your skulls will produce at least a few krones, even though it's not really the best, because you will need so many buildings. The upkeep will actually be very high. And you see, I get 60 krones for my skulls, and I have a higher upkeep actually than my scouts produce, so I threw in some merchants so I can pay my upkeep at least. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna come to the problems right now that I have faced. So the biggest problem, of course, are blizzards. Yeah, who has wondered about that? Yeah. Yeah, blizzards actually get very annoying. I don't know. Yeah, I could actually just show you a little load game where I just saved the game right before the blizzard hits. It was like 30 minutes ago. Yeah, and you just can't see the numbers. I don't know if you're interested in this, but I guess it's quite interesting to see how a late game blizzard can hit your eco. See, I were around 6k before the winter started. I already dropped a little bit before. And when the blizzard comes, it really eats up your food. I can tell you what happens. I will drop food and have like 1 week to go in the winter, so they starve around a week, and then the winter is away, and the food economy recovers itself. Yeah. What I wanted to say here, I didn't use any exploits in this game, so I didn't let them starve for like the whole winter or something and then just buy food at the market to just keep them alive every month. So I didn't use any of these exploits. I think it's quite important to me to not do that. I wanted to see if you can really reach the pop limit with a normal game, not with like exploiting everything what you can get. But it worked out so far. But this is why I make this video right now. I could actually had pushed this further, like I think I were on 263 or something. Weren't that much higher. To push this very much further, because when the next blizzard hits, I'm gonna be dead. Yeah. So you would need to exploit the game to use the exploits in the game to push this way further. The only thing I thought about that could actually push this way further would be opening a map with 6 players. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because you see the spawn right here. I have 1 field, I have 2 fields. I would have hunt up here, but I got that so late in the game that I didn't felt like it would change all too much. I should actually build a hunter's lodge in here, upgrade the silo and upgrade the hunter's lodge, of course, to get a better food production. Because if your food production can hold up, you can't push this way further. Even though you can't build that much Hall of Skulls then. But actually you should be able to do that. Could just get a little low on houses. But there are a lot of problems to face. But yeah, I actually would be quite interested if you guys tried out something like this and how far you got. Because this were just a little fun project for me. I wanted to know if there is a max pop. I actually thought there would be some kind of pop limit around the 200 mark. But no. Nothing here. That's cool. I think it's cool that the developers don't stop us from doing things like that. Yeah, it's really fun. I had a really fun time to play it up like this, even though it looks quite... yeah, it doesn't really look like it, but yeah, it's really fun to face the new problems you get while doing a challenge like this. Yeah, I would actually tell you guys that it's really helpful to, even in your multiplayer playstyle, to try this out just to know how a big eco works, at least. So not like a big eco, like an insane eco, you know? So know that going too big isn't the best thing either. It will be better than keeping on low villagers, to be honest. Better eco is always better eco, so you can't say something about that. I will always take 1 villager more to 1 villager less, so yeah. So that is one of the things that I learned. I learned some other things right now that are quite crazy that I didn't know. I'm just gonna send them right here. Don't know, these are 61. And these are 40 villagers I'm just sending, so I'm gonna put 1 out of there. Yeah, 40 villagers now. So we had 60 on the tile, and now we get 40 on it. And like you see, one of the villagers isn't working. Actually, I can't send more villagers there, and they won't work. Because there's actually a limit of villagers getting food in 1 tile. So it's just about getting food, like from the floor, as a villager. So I guess you can just have 100 of 1 type of unit gathering something in a tile. So around, if it gets to a 3-digit mark, it won't work anymore. I can obviously not test it with farmers and stuff, so you can only test it with villagers. Warriors will obviously just run over the tile, they don't have to work on the tile. But I would just assume, without really knowing that you couldn't have 100 woodcutters on a tile, even if it were possible somehow. Yeah. Yeah, that's basically it. It's not the most important thing to know, but I think it's quite funny to know that this is around the 3-digit mark, where the game won't let you gather food anymore from that tile. Yeah, quite funny thing, I guess. Yeah, and one of the other really important things I learned, at least for the multiplayer, is that early game happiness is key. So if you want to really get a boom done, so you are pretty sure your opponent won't rush you, I guess that's one of the basic things you need to know of that, because if you're gonna get rushed, villagers won't help you, and you can't build that much military buildings if you go for total boom, like many Hall of Skulls, getting much villagers out at the start of the game. I guess that's a really cool tactic, I guess that could work, but I don't know if it's strong enough to compete against the rush in our times. But the more and more I play it, the more and more I think it's actually doable, because the boom can be really far at the start of the second winter. If you play it out good, of course, always if you play it out good, you have to keep your lore in mind. If you don't keep your lore in mind, you will really have a problem, because the lore is that what sets you away from your enemy. So if you get the Carpentry Mastery early and can upgrade your Hall of Skulls early for good price, obviously, maybe even get mining efficiency for better yeah, for better stone income, I guess that's essential too. But these are a lot of things you will learn if you just play like games like this without any pressure, like without any opponent really stressing you out. I would really assume to do that with more bot players, so you get more food tiles. I would really love to know if this is breakable, if someone can get really more villagers out of a map. But I guess that should really be like the natural limit, I guess, where it really gets struggly with blizzards and stuff to just keep me alive. I could push this further, I guess maybe to 270, 275, but I don't think it's necessary, because I took my lessons out of this. I hope that I helped you in some way too. Hopefully I just at least entertained you a little bit with this video, because this was one of the questions that really drove me around after I questioned myself. Yeah, so leaves me just with yeah, wishing you to have a great weekend. See you back tomorrow, and yeah, bye bye everyone. Ciao.